vincontroller.eu. Check vehicle history for every used car in Europe. What's up everybody? Welcome to another Boostmania International episode. Today we are Q service and we're here to pick up our Audi A4. Right after that, we're taking it to an electrician so that we can fix some electrical issues we have. The A4 is finally completely assembled. The front bumper and the boot lid, which are freshly painted, are already fitted to the car, so we can continue. So now we're going to check the results and see how they managed to put it back together. And then we're taking it straight to Novosedlik here in Bratislava, where the electronics is going to get looked over. And they'll also check the AC system, because that surely wasn't clean since the car was new. So it definitely needs some servicing. So we'll check the results, get in the car, and we're on our way. So what's up? We're standing in front of Novosedlik here in Bratislava, where they'll be taking care of our Audi A4. And the job list is rather long. But if everything goes to plan, they'll even be able to replace the nasty buttons inside. I hope they'll be able to get a hold of those, because the buttons are disgusting. So, we'll leave the car here, and they'll call us back in a few days. And in a short while, we're going to show you the whole process and everything that we managed to fix. I hope they'll fix everything. We'll see. And we're back once again. A few days have passed since we left the A4 in here. And this here, standing behind us, is our beautiful Audi A4. And I can tell you, there's been a whole lot of stuff done to this car. So here's a small list of everything that's been done. It's pretty long. Well, it definitely should be long. It's the whole list of everything that should be checked on the car. So there's the diagnostics of the electrical system. And by that, we mean the whole electrical system. Next on the list appears to be filling the AC system. But I believe that's already been done at the previous shop, along with the AC condenser and the radiator. So today, we're just going to disinfect and check for faults in the system. And then we have some interior problems with the buttons. Some were broken, they were nasty, and the paint was coming off. But look what the guys managed to do. There's this handle door trim nobody wanted to even touch before. It was nasty and sticky after all those years. But the guys in here really did a good job. They removed the top layer, and I presume they protected it with some sort of top coat. And this, in my other hand, are all the broken buttons that we had in the car. Sadly, we have to order new replacement parts. And now you're finally going to be able to adjust your mirrors or open your windows, because that wasn't possible up till now. Thankfully, the mirrors were set alright for your height. And the next thing was something you're actually holding in your hand. It was the glove box opening handle. We couldn't even open the glove box because the whole system was busted. Apparently, this is a typical fault that happens to many of these cars. You have to replace the handle, and I believe you also have to replace the whole... Do you have to replace the whole glove box door? Is that right? Yeah, you're right. Thankfully, a viewer of ours helped us with getting a hold of that part. And the next thing on our list is... The next thing on our list should be replacing some light bulbs in those terrible tail lights. They look really hideous. And those lights only use really small bulbs. I could barely see Peter signaling on the roads earlier. At first, I had no idea your turn signal was even on. And then, oh my god, we're turning. But I will look cool at a car meet. That might be true, but we want this car to be visible on the road. And definitely safe. And next up, we have removing of various electrical problems. Of course, the car's still being worked on, so not much of this is done. But there was one thing that was really making us go crazy. On the driver's door, you can adjust windows or mirrors. Apparently, the cables were snapped where they go from the chassis to the doors. I'm being told that's a common issue as well. But currently, this is fixed. And the skilled technicians can go on to work on other problems of this car. And we'll see you in a few days. Well, a few seconds for you. And we're hoping the car is going to be perfect electronically. Looking forward to that. A few days have passed again, and the car is finished. So, what have you done to this car? Well, I've made a small list. It's based on all the faults you've reported to me in the beginning, along with all the other problems we've found along the way. So, we've done some diagnostics, and there were some error codes that popped up. But usually those were past issues or intermittent issues. In any case, that was a pretty big problem we were facing. The oil pressure light on the dashboard was on. Even though there was enough oil, it was signaling that there's too little of it. Now, initially we thought this might be connected to another problem we were having, and that was a problem with the bonnet closed sensor. So we've gone through the wires, and it was all right. So the fault really was in the sensor. We ordered a new one and changed it. We've put it on diagnostics and it's not a problem anymore. So we can finally see the current oil level. Yes, this should be solved now. Now when it comes to the driver's doors, that's a classic fault. Snapped wires between the door and the chassis. We've disassembled it all and replaced all the broken wires with new ones. And of course we've isolated the wires too. So when it comes to this issue, I would consider it fixed. There's some new buttons on the interior. Yes, they did work, but there was no paint on them anymore. That means on the driver's side, there are brand new switches for the window controls. Sadly, the passenger one is not available anymore. So we've tried to revive it somehow. We've sanded it down and applied a nice black coat over it. And we've done the same with all those nasty rubbery plastics. Those have all been treated and are now painted. So it finally looks presentable. Yeah, I'd say the car looks a bit better now. It's a bit more cultured. Hey, when it comes to the glove box, I remember it was a problem getting a hold of that part. Well, when we looked into it, we found out that this is a common pain spot for these cars. That means each time a parts car appears on the market, the glove box is the first thing to go. But against all odds, we managed to find one anyways. Thank you to the viewer from East Slovakia, who gave us a very fair price. It is new, and although it's black, it's fully functional. Shout out to you, you know who we're talking about. Yeah, thank you a lot. Also, thank you to the BOAT company. They supplied us with many original components, like all those electrical switches. And they've supplied them for free once they found out this is a charity project. But anyways, thankfully, the glove box is solved. There was also a problem with the rear turn signals. They were not really visible. Sadly, we can't put a more powerful bulb there. That one is already 21 watts. But the orange coating around the bulbs was pretty deteriorated. So we've replaced them with new ones, and it's definitely much better. So that's now ticked off the list. Also, BOAT supplied a brand new mirror controller. So that has been replaced for a new one, and you'll see it works. Now, the AC system. In my notes I see you wanted a complex AC service. But since the radiators were changed in the previous shop, along with the AC condenser, the AC system was pressurized. We checked the pressures and they're okay. We disinfected the vaporizer, which means no smell should be coming from the AC now. But since I've heard that the car is still headed for some interior cleaning, we didn't do an ozone disinfection, which is a pretty good idea to do at the end. Yes, but the important part is the AC works and it doesn't smell weird. Yeah, it's disinfected, so there shouldn't be any problems with that. But that's all from my list. I'm guessing the rest of the work is at other shops now. That's right, we're taking the car to another specialist now. It's time to service the LPG tank. Since the tank is almost 10 years old, it needs replacing and refreshing along with the system. But all that in the next episode. Have a nice day.